Okay, I'm going to continue to exploit this rare day alone and read these journal entries. And as I said in the previous video, I am only going to read up to the point that I decided to record these journal entries because while I don't necessarily worry about being phony and writing for you guys. I worry about editing myself where I'm actually finally getting my words out in a way that makes sense to me and feels good. So I don't want to, I don't know, pull back on the purge. Like I want to make sure it's real and continues to be this real. So yeah, I'm only going to read for a couple more entries, but maybe that will be enough for me. Maybe I'll come back to it. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll lose interest. That's the kind of person I am. So yeah. This next entry, this is my third time trying to read it. Because there's one bad memory in here that it's not even drastic, but for some reason it really sticks to me, and I can barely read my writing because I was on the bus. So I'm going to do the best I can, and this is my last take. I don't care anymore. Okay. March 18th. Russ's frustration is building. I fear pushing him away so much as I fear continuing this path, and as much as I feel it, I also feel indignant. Who are you to feel that the walls that you created? He said the other day that the joy leaves me the moment he enters the room and that my friends must think he is some sort of monster. That was never my intention, and in fact I spent way too much time trying to illustrate to them that he isn't bad, that this Russ is not the Russ I signed up for. Well, it's who I am now. Get used to it, he spat with vehemence one day. I'm trying to dial it back before Archie died. Was it always this way? Was this always here? Is this a product of grief or is it heightened by it? I can remember times that ate at me before Archie passed away, awful flashbacks of realization. Rushing into bed, excited to tell him about my day, laughing about the silly stories, greeted with a, I'm trying to sleep. All at once the joy fading and the shard of glass in my heart when his phone rang and he left out of bed at 2 a.m. to listen to his drunken friend instead. On the bus, captivated with him as usual, his gorgeous and dynamic presence, enjoying people, sights, the feel of his hands, I leaned in and whispered, I love you so much, to which he snapped back, not now, with cold eyes, always, and yet he thought it was the perfect time to loudly rant about controversial politics. A lazy Sunday, neither of us had plans. I feel like taking a nap, so I pull him into bed with me. He lays stiff as a board, says nothing in response to me except for to note that he'll get up in a few minutes. I give up after 5. He says he can't be idle. He then goes and loads Netflix, as usual, and falls asleep immediately on the couch, feet away from me. He's mad I didn't wake him up. I'm mad to my anchoring core. I am lonely. The anger builds and turns into other products. I approach, as usual, calm, armed with I statements, ready to swallow the bitter pill that is accepting the other side. He yells that it is not the time. He is tired, or maybe he's in too good of a mood. There's always a reason, and yet he answers those midnight phone calls and engages in internet fights like a sport. The moments were always there, and I've always felt dismissed and empty. Everything was done alone. Grief, Sherry leaving, my mother's problems, frustration, work, my weight gain, joy, comfort, loneliness. So if I reflect and see these shadow but raw moments so easily, what changed? When did I throw up my hand? When did the godlike aura around him go? These are the things that eat at me, but it's not what changed. Was it the frequency? Was it his frantic energy? Was it me? Did I suddenly to see him less capable of dreams and thus no longer willing to ride the waves? Was it my own ambition? Like Jackie O, did I see a magnetic power and hitch myself to it, wanting, due to my ego, to be less ordinary? Turning a blind eye to the hurt for the bigger picture of greatness? I don't think I'm above that. I'm really not. Was it his anger? Was it diminished sex life? Who is he to not want me, I used to tell myself. Did I suddenly decide that I was better than him? I don't think so, but somewhere along the way he became human, and less than that somehow. I can think of a tableau of moments there, too. Moments where everything changed. Going to Trev's cabin. I'm nervous. I don't know how to mesh with this group of sorority girls. I try, but everything I say falls flat. I figure I'll cling to Russ and join when he does. He does so much pot they start referring to it as though it's his only defining characteristic. He's too high to talk. He's angry when he's not high. He doesn't want to do anything but then eat edibles and be baffled at me being unable to mesh with the bimbo crowd. Unbelievably lonesome. I hate this weekend. I hate being known as the stoner's girlfriend. I hated feeling left out, and less as Russ looked at me. He's sitting on the stairwell, and I peek out sometimes to see him. He looks heartbreaking gorgeous, and he sits there smoking. I'm smiling and taking a video of him, this gorgeous moment. He sees me and something within him crumbles. I have his disdain on video, but I don't need the footage to remember it. I hate that moment. I hate it. Okay. It's actually in my 1 second a day video, the My Life video. There's a brief footage of him smoking in a stairwell. That's the video, and I took a moment out of it, but anyway. Alex, Russ, and I drive to Seattle. I haven't seen Alex in a couple years, one of Russ's best friends. The whole way there and back, Alex and I lock eyes in the rear view. He sees what I see, and I fucking cling to it. Brain stains. I remember taking him with me just to row a room, and now he sits there and invades it. People don't like him anymore. He sees the reaction, but he can't recall the change. Neither can I. The good stuff is there too, but it can't be worded. It's like trying to name the way sunlight feels when it coaxes up on you on a midday nap. I remember and cling to that feeling of familiarity, that comfort, warmth, and feeling of home. But. Ronine was considering seriously leaving Jack, and I said that they should try to make it work. Russ said marriage isn't permanent, and that if she's happy, she should leave, to make it her 5th marriage that she's ended. But it is, though. If it isn't, what is? That eats at me, because it's such a fundamental difference. I said this before, but I feel as though he is my perfect mirror reflection. Idealistic to my realistic, harsh to my soft, passionate to my indifferent. Everything is at complete odds like a mirror reflection, balanced and familiar, but jarring if anyone moves. Those silent moments are perfect, I think. I'm always aware. Even from the beginning, I've been in my head. I'm unbelievably torn. I can't remember who I planned to be before Russ and I locked path. I feel entirely lost but indifferent, or ambitious enough to only care about the outcome. I am much more calculated than I ever expected myself to be. I do not think my motives are good. Have I mentioned yet that I'm pretty sure, for all my admitted kindness, that I'm unsure if I can really call my motives sound? I'm nice because I like the reputation. Does that still count? It's not an act I let slip, but it's a path that I chose decisively. One I continue to choose in action for the love that I gain in return. Do I give gifts because I enjoy the responses, or am I enthralled with it and the idea of being a woman who feels the need to give and spoil? Is any thought in my head related to my being genuine? Is questioning my motives the most genuine? I don't know, but I loathe me as much as I adore me. Okay, that's the entry. That one's the heaviest one. That moment on the stairwell, man, there was no fight or anything, but that was the moment that I realized that it was gone, that it was leaving. It was a year and a half ago. It was awful, and I got it on video. I got the look of his hate on video. That's really awful. Okay, let's not cry.